Today, I'm breaking down a very simple social media strategy to make posting and creating content so much easier. Most of us as agents, we overthink the hell out of what to post on social. And today, I'm going to make it so stupid simple for you. Everyone can do it. And it's so effective, you'll start getting clients right away. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 375 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I am your host, Dustin Brohm, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. We overthink social media dramatically as agents. And look, it happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us. Everyone that I look up to who's crushing it on social, they go through these periods where they overthink it too. Everyone does, but it's important that we simplify and remind ourselves that, hey, it doesn't have to be so difficult. And so today I'm going to give you one of these super easy strategies, a super easy approach to just so you have a plan. Just having some sort of plan and guidance for what to do on social every day, or however often you post, but just on a regular basis is so key. We get stressed out and freaked out as agents because we don't have a plan, and we're like, oh, I need to post because I'm supposed to post. Oh, what do I do? Oh, maybe I'll do this, or maybe I'll do that. And you start throwing all these random things out there that aren't really meant for any particular person or group. And it's like throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks. And I mean, you don't want to do that. Spaghetti on the wall, the spaghetti on the wall approach, not a great social strategy. So I'm going to break this down so you can have a plan moving forward. And it's so simple and so effective, you should start to get some results quickly. I'll break this down. So before we get started, congratulations to you, those of you who took advantage of the Massive Agent Society Platinum Pass that I offered. I'm offering this for a few more days. When you hear this, it should still be available, at least for a few days. What I'm doing is I'm taking every coaching group, every program, every course, every training that I've recorded, every download, every calculator, every spreadsheet, every ebook that I've ever done, putting it in one place. There's no monthly fee. It's just a one-time grab it and it's yours forever. It has the Massive Agent Business Accelerator in it. It has my social boot camp training, which so Nicole, or sorry, is it Nicole? Nicole in why am I drawing such a blank? I'm confusing Nicole. No, Nikki. Sorry, it's Nikki. That's why I was messing up. Nikki in Iowa took the social boot camp course that's included in this platinum pass because it includes literally every course I've ever done. And afterwards, Nikki said she got 9 deals. She closed 9 deals in 45 days because of the Google profile optimization, how to get free leads from Google course, the mindset training, how to think and act like a top producer, and a few other things. That's just one course in the Platinum Pass. There's the Business Accelerator. There's my Facebook ads library. You can copy and paste effective ads and get leads literally tonight. So to take advantage, if you haven't already, go to massiveagentsociety.com/platinum and grab the Platinum Pass. It's a one-time fee, forever, lifetime access, including everything I come out with in the future. I'll be adding it to this platform as well. So just by being a Platinum Pass holder, so to speak, you won't ever have to pay for my coaching again or any course that I come out with a year and a half from now, 3 years from now. It's all included. massiveagentsociety.com/platinum. But let's give you a free tip right now. We get so confused when it comes to social media. Let me start with this. Let me lay the foundation, and then I'll give you this specific strategy. This foundation is everything. It's very hard to know what to put out there on social if you don't know who you're putting it out for. So the first thing you have to do is define who the hell you're trying to reach. Who are the exact people? Who's the exact person? What do they do for a living? What are their needs? Are they a first-time buyer? Are they, are they selling the place they're living at and relocating? Are they in the military and they're relocating to your area because of a base transfer? Are they a luxury seller? Who are you trying to reach? Get very specific on that. And if you're struggling with that and you're like, oh, everybody, no, you're not trying to reach everybody. You're trying to reach specific people. And if you need to, go look at your past clients. What do they have in common? Maybe they're first-time home buyers. Maybe they're upsizing. They need more space because they have a growing family or whatever. So once you figure out who you're trying to reach and who your core audience is, then you can create for them. When you know who they are, you can actually have them in mind and say, oh, what do they need to know? What questions do they have? What pain points do they have? What misconceptions have, what questions do they ask me constantly? And then you can create for them. If you don't have your audience in mind, you're just throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks. And no wonder nothing's really sticking. So get dialed in on exactly who your audience is first. And once you do that, you can create for them. So now that you know who your audience is, here's the strategy, okay? Take note of all the questions that you get asked. Those could be social media comments. It could be clients that you're meeting with and questions that they have. Just think of all the different questions you get asked by people in your job as an agent, okay? Well, some of those questions get asked more than others, right? So what are the most common questions? Then answer those questions in a video on social. That's it. That's the strategy. So what questions do you get asked most often? Answer the question in a video and post it. You can put it on YouTube, you can put it on social, put it everywhere. Now, what's cool is when you identify these questions and then answer them and you do it well, you can take that video that you put on Instagram, for example, and then you could send it out to specific people in your database that have that same question, or maybe they're at that certain phase in the transaction where that question comes up. Well, hey, how do appraisals work? And what happens if it's low? And who pays for it? Blah, 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 right? You could send them that piece of content before or right when they're, during that initial part of the transaction. And that piece of content can prepare them. So by doing this, not only are you creating evergreen content that will reach the right people that you've already identified, hey, these are the people I'm trying to reach on social, but you can also use it to educate and do some of the heavy lifting so that you're not constantly answering the same questions over and over. You can then proactively send that content out to the people who need it when they need it. You can take, maybe it's an Instagram video, a YouTube video, put it in your email newsletter and send it out to people. If it's informative, if it's evergreen, meaning that it's not like, hey, what's the market update for March 2025, but it's like it's a concept or a question or a topic that's everlasting, that will be asked now or will be sought after or interesting now and 3 years from now and 10 years from now. That's evergreen content. Create some of that stuff and just start sending it out. You don't have to have this newly created piece of content 100% of the time in all places. When you recycle your stuff and when you take what you put on Instagram, what you put on Facebook, and then you send it out to your email list, or then maybe you take those things and do a YouTube video about it. And maybe you can take some of the stuff and turn them into ads or lead magnets or downloads to run Facebook ads or Instagram ads with. You start to make your job a lot easier because then it's not so many new things. You're just kind of recycling what, hey, I created this great thing and let's share it over here to these people that haven't seen it yet. Some of the best content creators, that's what they do. Like they'll create content, they'll send it out in their email list. Hey, here's my newsletter. And it's a bunch of their content. And usually like the people in the email list are like, oh, cool. I haven't seen this before. I better watch it. Awesome. And if they have seen it before, great. They get reminded. It can be so much easier than you're making it. So that's the social strategy. Take note, be mindful of the questions that you're getting asked all the time. And if you're not, so make a list of those. Like when you get questions, put them in a note, put them in a Google Doc or something like that so that you can keep coming back to them. And then I'm looking at my timer here. I'm trying to figure out how long I've been going. Then if you're like, well, okay, I'm running out of questions. What are some of the misconceptions that you hear people say a lot that you're spending time correcting, and then create content around those? Now, when you're creating that content, of course, it has to be done well. So rule number 1, never, ever freaking introduce yourself. This is what I teach in my clients from social training. Never introduce yourself. Why? It wastes the most valuable part of the video. The most valuable part, the most important, or not the most valuable, the most important part of the video is the first 1 to 3 seconds. That's where you have to hook a viewer's attention. If it doesn't get their attention, they don't watch it. They just flick their thumb and they scroll to the next video. The video that you spent so much time and effort creating literally doesn't exist to them because they never see it, because you bored them to death by saying, hey, it's Dustin Brohm with Real, and today I'm going to tell you about my new listing on 123 Fake Street. Don't do that. Stop introducing yourself. And if you have to, I learned this from my buddy Neil Dingra, if it's so ingrained in you that you're like, oh, I just can't stop introducing myself. Great. Record it with the introduction and then just edit that shit off. Just cut that part off of the video and then post the video. So rather than introducing yourself, just get into it. Just start saying what you want to say. Ideally, you can say it with a hook. So something that I teach in Clients from Social, which by the way is included in the Platinum Pass, of course. What I teach is, if you want to teach people that they don't need 20% down to buy a house, right? It's a very common misconception that you need 20% down to buy a house. It's amazing how many how many consumers still think that. Well, that's because we as an industry have done a shit job of educating them. So if we can just hook people correctly I'll give you a couple examples, hook them effectively and get them to actually pay attention, we can teach them to stop waiting for 20% down. And you can buy something today with 3% or 0% or 5% or whatever. There are options, right? That's the whole point. So rather than saying, hey, it's Dustin Brohm with Real, and today I'm going to tell you about the FHA loan. Did you know that you only need 3.5% down to buy a house? You don't actually need 20%. Even though the topic is fine, right? We want to teach them that. It starts off horribly. First off, I introduced myself. Second of all, I said, hey, today I want to talk to you about, and don't do that either. Like that's as bad as an introduction. Today I want to talk to you about blah, blah, blah. Just start talking about the thing. Just start saying what it is you want to say. So rather than, we're going to talk about FHA loans, you say, here's how you can buy $1 million house for $35K. And then you've hooked their attention for damn sure. Even people who have no interest in real estate right now, but may in the future, you hook their attention. They're like, how the hell do you buy $1 million house for 35 grand? And then you explain that with an FHA loan, 3.5% down out of pocket on $1 million property is 35K. So you're teaching them the same thing. You're just hooking them with something interesting, attention grabbing, a bold statement to start off with. So another example that I like to use, if you want to teach somebody, you don't need 20% down. It's, how did I start that out? I completely drew a blank. It's, here's how to avoid or don't make this $100,000 home buying mistake. Or I forget the exact verbiage. So I'm rolling off the top of my head here. Avoid this $100,000 home buying mistake. Or here it is. This one home buying mistake could cost you 100 grand. There we go. Finally got that out. This one home buying mistake could cost you 100 grand. And then you go on to explain that by waiting another year or two or more to save up that down payment. They think they need 20%, but they could have just gotten into a house with 3% or 3.5% or whatever. While they're waiting and saving up that down payment, what is happening to them? You've all seen this play out over the last 3, 4, 5 years. And it's terrible to see people that this has happened to. They waited too long, and now they can't afford half the house that they could have had 3 years ago or 5 years ago. Interest rates go up and stay up, and the price of the home keeps going up. So even though they could have just gotten into the game with a lower down payment, yes, they would have paid stupid mortgage insurance, but show them how that's not a big deal compared to paying another 150 grand for the damn house, right? Teach them that by waiting to save up a down payment, they could be costing themselves 100 grand or more. Give a specific dollar amount. If you have a specific example of somebody that had the option to buy a house 3 years ago for 540K, and now it's 723, just crunch the numbers and say, this one mistake cost my buyers $200,000 ish, right? Whatever that number is. You get the point. That's called a hook. So hook people and grab their attention, and then you can talk about the topic. But they're not going to give a shit about the topic if you don't hook their attention first. So as you're thinking of these questions and how to respond to them and how to teach people things and how to overcome misconceptions and who it is you're teaching these things to in the first place, who your ideal audience is, think of hooks that can grab somebody's attention and then just get to the point fast. And by the way, make it quick. There's going to be follow-up questions. There's going to be people that are like, wait, what about this? What about that? That's the whole goal. Your video should be the trailer, not the motion picture. It should be the Cliff's Notes, not the whole novel. All right. Your video should have some questions like, well, what about this? Or how about in this situation? When you do that, then people message you or they comment with like, hey, well, what about this? Well, hey, yeah, I understand that, but what about this situation? And that's when you get outreach. That's when you get messages. That's when you get people emailing you or messaging you saying, hey, I want to know more about that thing. How does that work? But you have to tease them with just enough information that it's super helpful, but then they need the details, and that's when they come to you. So that strategy right there will change everything. It's simple. So I know we got into some hooks and strategies like that, which is important. But at a minimum, just remember the questions that you're being asked on a regular basis and then answer them on video. Send those answers out in email, put them on Facebook, put them on LinkedIn, put them on your blog, put them Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. And by the way, if you record a short form vertical video, that format works literally everywhere. YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, X, everywhere. You can put that short form vertical video everywhere, and then you're just working harder. Sorry, you're working smarter, not harder. And by the way, I automate that. So that when I'm posting one video on Instagram, I want it to also post on Facebook. I want it to also go to TikTok. And I want the watermark stripped off before it goes to TikTok, right? I don't want the Instagram watermark on TikTok. If I'm posting on TikTok first and then I want it to go to YouTube Shorts, I don't want the TikTok watermark on YouTube Shorts. So I use a tool called Repurpose. Repurpose is you basically just connect all of your different social accounts. And then you say, hey, when I post here, put it there. When I post here, put it there. And when you put it there, make it look like this, remove the watermark, boom, boom, boom. And you can tweak the way that it looks so that when you post on TikTok and then it goes to your Facebook, that it looks like a Facebook post and not just a copied TikTok post. There's a big difference. And so what's so cool about Repurpose, it posts natively and it's automatic. There's a free version. There's a paid version. I actually just got I just re-upped for a year because they're having a sale. It's like $2.99 for the whole year. But the free version is great. You just can't, if you want to connect more networks to it, and be able to do more and post more and automate more, you need a paid plan, but you can do a hell of a lot with just the free version. I highly recommend it. Repurpose. I believe you can get a free trial through this link I'm about to give you. It's massiveagentsociety.com/repurpose, massiveagentsociety.com/repurpose. And if you want that VIP annual deal that I just did for $2.99 for the whole year, if you look at it and you're like, yes, I want that for the whole year, use code annual VIP. So use my link, then use annual VIP to get the $2.99 deal. Or if you just want to try it with all the features, the full premium plan for just $1 for the first month, use code JUST1. I think that's only good for the next few days. But the free trial is available always through my link, massiveagentsociety.com/repurpose. It's a hell of a tool to work smarter, not harder. If you're going to create the content, you may as well save yourself some time and not have to post it everywhere manually. So it's important that if your clients or your ideal audience are on Facebook, that you're also there, that your content is also there. And I bet they're also probably on TikTok and Instagram. And if you're just posting to each one separately, it takes way too much freaking time. Because you have to kind of change it a little bit. And, like a TikTok post looks a little bit different and it's formatted a little different than over here and blah, blah, blah. So just automate it with Repurpose. I love it. It saves so much time. Huge time saver. So before we wrap it up, I got to give a shout out to my buddies over at Keeping Current Matters. Be the advisor your clients trust with Keeping Current Matters, KCM. They give you easy to understand market insights. They tell you what the hell is happening in the market with interest rates, with housing prices, what's happening now, what will happen, how to prepare for it as a seller, how to prepare for it as a buyer. They give you ready to share graphics, which helps a ton with social content to take a complex topic and visually explain it to somebody. They give you scripts to keep you looking like a pro. Try it all for free from KCM over at trykcm.com/BAM and then BAMX. I love BAM. I love being partners with them. The best media company in real estate, without question. Level up your business with BAMX, courses, masterminds, a network of ambitious agents ready to push you higher. Join today over at nowbam.com. And when you do, use code MASSIVE for a massive discount at checkout and save yourself some money on that. I appreciate you guys listening today. I hope you walk away having a little better, or feeling a little bit better, I should say, about social and your approach to it. Hopefully you're able to come up with a plan where it doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be complex. You don't need to have a different post planned every single day of your life. At a minimum, just have the strategy in mind that you're going to answer your clients' questions through video, put it out there, do it well, get it out, and then reshare that content. Take your Instagram post and share it to your email list. Hope that helps. Use that repurpose tool, by the way, massiveagentsociety.com/repurpose. It saves me a ton of time. I swear by it. I've used it for 3 or 4 years now. It's awesome. Please share this episode with anyone who needs to hear it. If you found it valuable, I appreciate it so much. I'll see you guys next week. And last reminder, a few days left to get every course, every training, every coaching program, every resource, all my Facebook ads, everything I've ever created all in one place. MassiveAgentSociety.com/platinum. Grab the platinum pass while it exists for a few more days. Appreciate you all. See you next week.